Welcome to episode 11 of Sprawl podcast. That name is still up for debate. I'm changing that, man.
Wait, bro, to what?
Give me a sick name.
To what?
Give me a sick name, and I'll change Sprawl podcast.
Okay, listen. Let's try to think of it this way, okay? You go on YouTube and you search the Sprawl podcast. Nothing comes up except for us. So like, why?
Yeah, but if you do Fieldgate, Pickering, I don't know, man.
Fieldgate?
There's a lot of. That's the first thing I saw on my screen. There could be any name that you could put out there, and it won't show up in YouTube. Have you ever done a sprawl in your life?
Of course, all the time.
When's the last time you did a sprawl?
In the gym.
No,
when rolling.
We're not talking about rolling. What gym?
Pound for pound, bro. Pound for pound.
That's a lie, bro.
What do you mean that's a lie? I train jiu-jitsu, bro. What are you talking
about? Just imagine. Supernova.
That's a fire name.
Supernova podcast. The worst MMA podcast. How about that?
The worst? No, come on, bro.
The worst generational MMA podcast.
Supernova podcast. Let's search
Supernova. That's it.
It's not there, bro.
It's not there?
It's not there, man.
I told you.
It's not there.
I don't know. We'll decide on what the name could possibly be, but leave it for now.
We'll do Red Rock podcast.
Red Rock?
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Anyways, we'll see. We'll probably leave it at Sprawl podcast
for the year. There you go.
Hey, it's working, so why not?
It is working, bro.
Let's talk about UFC 257. There's a bunch of cards. There's 3 cards on Fight Island, happening at the end of January, January 22nd, 3rd, and 4th, I think. I might be wrong, but let's focus on a couple of the cards, or one specifically. UFC 257 is a pretty badass card. I don't know if you've seen it.
Who's fighting on it?
Let me throw you some names right now. Let me throw you some names. Have you heard of Shane Burgos?
Nope.
Hakeem Dawodu?
That's my guy, bro.
You see? You know Hakeem?
Of course I know Hakeem, bro.
Of course. Have you heard of Nasrat?
Nasrat is my Afghani brother, bro. This is our guy.
Have you heard of Umair?
Umair Nurmagomedov? Oh my.
That's it. That's the guy. Have you heard of Michael Chandler, Dan Hooker?
Not Chandler and not Hooker, no.
Okay. So we can't talk about the fight. Anyways, first fight.
No, bro, I'm kidding.
Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker confirmed for UFC 257, the same card that Conor McGregor is on, or the one that he's headlining. First time that Michael Chandler will actually fight in the UFC. So he made weight for the Khabib and Justin Gaethje
and went home.
The fight.
Then
went home. He went home. But he's actually going to fight this time against Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is up and coming. He's a bad guy. He's in that conversation. There's 2 guys that recently came into the conversation for lightweight contenders, and that was Charles Oliveira, and the other guy was Dan Hooker.
The Bronx.
Dan Hooker actually lost to Dustin Poirier in his last fight via decision, which was pretty close. If you look at the numbers, overall, especially, the significant strikes were basically identical. It was much more Dustin Poirier was able to control the fight, and it was a fight of the year candidate. It was really, really good. I think the fight against Michael Chandler is going to be a little bit different. Michael Chandler, if you want to think of him like an Eddie Alvarez, where he's good on the feet, he has really good grappling. He's just good at everything overall.
But he talks
He's not gonna. We'll leave that alone for now.
No, this guy has no honor. Okay, how can you come into a new company and think that you deserve a spot against Khabib? You know, get out of here, bro. Michael Chandler.
Well, he's a champion in other organizations. He's been doing it for a very long time. He's 21-5, which is a record that's
Those are 5 big L's.
Yeah, it's better than Dan Hooker's
bro, he
record.
fought a 145er and he lost. You can't put him into a replacement fight for Khabib. You know, that's not fair. He's not. I don't know. He's not.
It's fine. It's fine. He's already past that Khabib fight. He's on to Dan Hooker, where he'll be able to display what he's got, what he's able to do in the MMA world. For the people that just watch UFC, he'll show what he can do. Dan Hooker is gonna have some trouble.
Why?
He's gonna have to practice his sprawls. he's gotta really practice right now. Dan Hooker is up and coming, but he does have a lot of losses in his career. A lot of them did come in his earlier time, like when he's first starting out. But he's 20-9. His most recent notable losses were Dustin Poirier and Edson Barboza. Neither one beat him on the ground, which doesn't really help us with this next fight with Michael Chandler. But I think he does get taken down. He does get taken down. Does get a little tired. Well, he'll get his cardio tested out. I think Michael Chandler wins via decision. I don't think Michael Chandler is going to do anything like wild, anything crazy where it's going to be on the highlight reels or anything like that. It's going to just be Michael Chandler won via decision. Nice. Cool.
I think also, too, after this fight, a good matchup would be Chandler versus Islam. Very good matchup.
Chandler versus Islam?
Islam Makhachev. Very good challenge. Because he needs a prep fight. Man. No, because he needs a prep fight for the Brock Lesnar fight in March. So, this is a good idea. What do you think?
Actually, now that I'm looking at Chandler, he's actually pretty deadly. He 43% of his wins are from KO.
I know.
Okay. 33% is from submissions, and only 24% is decisions. He might come out with a bang, actually. Now that
I don't see it happening because who did Hooker fight again? He fought Poirier, right?
Yeah.
And that went all the way to the last round, right? So.
Yeah. I don't see but like Dan Hooker let his chin get tested. He did receive a lot of punches.
It's a quick turnaround too, right? So.
Yeah. When was that last fight? I don't.
It was pretty recently, no? It was in the summer.
June 27th.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's not too recent. That's.
But 8 months.
Like 6 months. Yeah, 6-7 months. All right. So actually, I picked Michael Chandler. He just got a lot of proof. He just has to. He can't come in here and do what Eddie Alvarez did when he first came in, where he came in and he's like disappointing, right?
Or what if
he has to
have Ben Askren?
Ben Askren is the GOAT, bro.
At Napoleon Dynamite?
He got picked up, slammed on his head, and still managed to get like a headlock.
A bulldog choke.
Yeah. He's a good bro. Don't disrespect him. But I think Michael Chandler is gonna have his time to shine. He's 33 years old. I've heard 34 years old actually.
He's old man.
I've heard him talk on like different platforms. He's ready. He knows who he is. He's prepared to make that jump to the UFC. I think he beats Dan Hooker. He's up next for the top fighters. Sorry, for the number one contender.
Come on, for number one contender? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's done enough. No, he's not.
There's
Buddy, and there's Connor, and there's Poirier, there's Gaethje, there's Charles Oliveira. Where the hell does Chandler fit into all this?
Well, like those people start to like cancel themselves out. Okay, Dustin and Poirier are gonna fight each other. Okay, one of those guys is gonna be out of the picture. Okay. Then you can have Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje, right? And then they cancel each other else. Okay. And then who's left?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but they won't fight though.
Why wouldn't they fight?
Because I don't think he'll be. I think honestly, it'll be Conor versus Poirier. Whoever wins that will fight Gaethje for title. That's my opinion.
Why Gaethje? Like Gaethje just lost. Like why would he?
But he fought Khabib though. So. What do you mean? So?
Dustin fought Khabib recently and beat Hooker and still didn't get a title shot.
Yeah, that's a good point, but
I don't know. A lot of things are going to change on January 20th. Remember that date, January 20th. That's when Khabib lands in Nasrat. We need to give him a nickname. Can you think of a nickname?
Nasrat Hakparas. I think we call him Nazi.
Nazi? Okay, that's stupid. I meant like like a nickname. You know, the eagle, right? What is Afghanistan's national bird?
A Marco Polo sheep.
Okay, I said bird, but we'll go with that. Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
I don't think it's a sheep either. I think it's a goat.
It's a goat, you're right.
I don't think it's a sheep.
Okay, we'll go Marco Polo.
Okay, Nasrat Marco Polo is said to fight
Marco
Arman
Polo, you know the Kabuli Polo?
Saryukian, huh?
That's a good one, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Arman, he's Nasrat said to face Arman Saryukian at UFC 257.
High level wrestler. High level.
Who? Arman?
High level.
But he doesn't like to use it from
What do you mean
what it
doesn't
looks
use it?
like.
No,
He
fought
doesn't really-
Islam. He fought Islam for all those rounds and they just wrestled the whole time.
Yeah, but
Wrestling.
Islam took him down 4 times and he only took him down once.
No, but if you watch though, like you could tell he had high wrestling. Like, bro, his transitions were amazing.
Yeah?
He was amazing, trust me. Good fight.
Okay. So, from what it looks like from the fights that I've seen of him, he's only had 3 in the UFC against Islam, Olivier Obin Mercier, and Davi Ramos. So from those fights, he's used his wrestling a little bit. In his last one, he got 1 takedown. In this previous fight to that, he used 2 takedowns, and then the fight before that was against Islam, where Islam took him down quite a bit. From what I've seen, he really likes to strike. So he likes to stay on the feet. He likes to enjoy. He likes to pick his shots, show off his axe kicks, all those fancy things. So I think this fight, it's between him and Nasrat, is going to be a standing fight. They're going to stand and bank. In terms of who's going to win, Arman has just fought like higher level guys. He's
Not
fought
really.
he's fought like veterans. The only like veteran so far that Nasrat has faced is Judober.
Yeah.
Alex Munoz is really good too, but he's 30 years old and he only had one fight in the UFC.
Yeah, but you're forgetting with Marco Polo that he trains with GSP and Zahabi at the TriStar gym. So
Yeah,
this guy is
but
trained to greatness.
There's a lot of people in that gym too that train with everybody. So I don't know. I think this will be a standing fight. TKO maybe, or it might just go to decision. They'll hit each other many times, going back and forth. But I have to stay loyal and say Marco Polo wins via decision.
Yeah, I go with Nasrat as well. Even though he's a sick wrestler, man, do not hate on Mr. Arman, bro. That guy is a top quality wrestler. This guy held his
It doesn't look like he wants to wrestle. If you look at his UFC stats here, in his last fight he landed 91 significant strikes.
That's a lot.
And Davi Ramos landed only 33. And then the one before that he landed 47 and absorbed 23. And then against Islam Makhachev, it was 13 for him and 14 for Islam, which is not that many. But it from what I've seen, Arman likes to strike. He likes to have fun. So this will be a good matchup. I just don't want Nasrat to do what he did against Judober. He just gets overzealous.
It's on the main card too, right? Or no?
It's on the card. I don't know if it's on the main card.
But the poor guy on the main card already, man. Goddamn.
Why? Just leave him. Let him breathe. Why you gotta rush him to the main card?
Because he's always been on prelims now, man. The guy should move up now. It's a main card at least.
He's a match number 7 out of 13. No, out of 14.
Yeah, it's
so
prelims.
that might be like the opener or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
Maybe not.
it'll be a fun fight. Tune in. Dana White releases a video about the whole journey through the whole pandemic. This guy documented every single reporter, every single podcast. This guy went to the YouTube, filtered, right, by upload date, and went through every single video to see. Yeah, I think he tweeted it out. Dana White. He went through every single video that even mentioned the UFC. Took out a clip and posted into that video where he's basically trying to show, all these media people tried to put me down, put the UFC down, try to take away from what we were doing. They didn't believe in us, and look now, look at what happened. And he's basically cheering himself on. He's saying how even though everybody told me I couldn't do it, I still did it. And you see this theme quite regularly through like the media appearances that he does and all the other interviews. He always likes to mention like that, oh, people thought we couldn't do it. People thought we couldn't do it. They told us not to do it. It was not safe.
That's true,
and
man.
Look what we were better than have better percentages of negative results than all the other leagues. Look at the NBA, how the NBA instantly had like, what was it, like 20% positive like results coming back. So I get it, like data, we get it.
This guy did damage, bro. Like with that whole thing with Khabib and Gaethje, that like catapulted everything. With Costa and Israel, man, like he did really well like in this whole pandemic so far. He's pushed all these guys, got so much. Yo, actually, if you see the fight with Costa and Israel, had the most interactions, right? So
yeah, no, I understand. Like he was able to take this pandemic and actually somewhat figure it out before any other league was able to figure it out around the world. He was able to do testing. He was able to keep people away from each other, keep people safe, and put on events when nobody else was putting on events.
And
so they flew them out. So he was able to do all these things that nobody thought that he was able to do. Now to tell the media like, oh, you guys didn't believe in me. So these media guys are not medical professionals, okay? They just know what they know. No, my point is that these guys are MMA journalists, right? They talk about MMA. So for you to put so much weight on their opinion on what to do and what not to do during a pandemic, I don't think you should weigh it that much, right? A lot of times people on these podcasts and all these interviews are obligated to make some sort of comment, to say, to come out and say, yes, the UFC is doing something good. The UFC is doing something progressive for the sport and the world. In the time of a pandemic, is very, very difficult to ask from these people. Nobody knew anything about these viruses. Nobody knew how bad it's going to be. Is it going to develop into something bad? So to put that much pressure or that much weight onto these MMA media people, I think it's a waste of time.
Hey, listen, yeah, but you know one thing though, we on the Sprawl podcast, we remain neutral. You know, we don't talk crap and we don't talk good.
It kind of favored Dana as well. The pandemic. The bad thing about this virus is that it spreads very quickly. That's the biggest difference between all these other ones that we've had in the past.
Yeah.
The positive thing that comes into play for Dana is that the survival rate is very, very high. It really affects people that are that have that have compromised or not the best immunity, which includes elderly and then people that just have medical conditions. Mm-hmm. So knowing that, you also realize okay, he was able to do this because this virus won't really affect first of all, it won't really affect your fighters that negatively. If they get it, okay, send them home, they'll recover. These guys are elite athletes who are taking the best supplements, who are training day in, day out. They are healthier than your average person, or I hope they would to be, right?
It's for Roy Nelson.
Yeah, no, Roy Nelson don't. Anyways, so that bodes well for him. The thing that he did good was that he prevented, or he was able to control infection rates. So he was able to prevent his fighters from getting infected once they were confirmed non-infected when they reached the bubbles. So that's what's very, very good that he's did. In terms of the virus itself, he's very, very lucky that this pandemic involved a virus that wasn't that deadly. If it was a virus that was, say, like the death rate was like 10-20%, then it gets a little dicey. What played in his favor that he needs to acknowledge in these videos and whatever it may be is that this virus is not that deadly. The biggest issue is the infection rate, and once you have a high infection rate, you risk the chance of people that are very, very immune, like have bad immunity to this virus, to get sick. So
he also he started like this whole thing with a bubble, right? As in the UFC Fight Island and then the Performance Center. So I mean, you got to give it to him, you know. That's
So I give it to him. His ability to get people that are negative and prevent them from getting sick or infected any further is very, very good. Yeah. Like I'll give it to him. No, but to expect these MMA guys to be medical professionals and to go above the curve and be like, oh guys, no, UFC knows what they're doing, right? That's very, 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 that's a big ask to have of them. There's some guys who did say positive things. I think DC was talking about Fight Island way back and saying, DC, tell these guys. Dana White's gonna be like in his next interview, DC, tell these guys. Fight Island.
My boy Islam, bro. My boy Islam.
Yeah, but leave the MMA media alone. He said that he's gonna get retribution or something. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Bro, we have to relax with our comments too, huh? We can't be too controversial. Let's just let's be low key.
Yeah, so I don't really care, man. I'm not a medical professional. He can do whatever he wants. These, what the other thing that really benefited Dana White in this situation was that there's no union body for the UFC fighters. These guys are all independent contractors. What that means is he can basically do whatever he wants. He has a lot more freedom than, say, the NBA. The NBA couldn't just. The reason why it took so long for a bubble for them to happen was because there's a union body that has to go,
NBA,
okay, what's the best thing for our fighters, as opposed to Dana, where he has so much flexibility. He goes, makes these relationships himself with Abu Dhabi, with he already has the Apex Center, and then he just says, okay, fighter, do you want to do this, yes or no? If they say yes, okay, they come in. If they don't want to, they don't fight. Right? It's he has a lot of positives, a lot of things in his favor that helped him do this that other guys wouldn't be able to do.